Hi, I'm Lorcan.
And I'm Yuki, and welcome to Shuffle, Skip, Repeat, your new destination for all things music.
Yes, we will be taking a deep dive into the latest music releases. Whether it's a pulsating pop anthem or a soul-stirring ballad, no genre will be off limits.
It won't be all fun and games, however, as each episode will also serve as a platform for critical analysis, exploring the challenges, triumphs, and controversies that shape the music world, so as to provide you with a comprehensive understanding of the industry's inner workings.
Now, if that wasn't already enough, get ready for some star power, because between episodes, we will be releasing bonus interviews where an array of familiar faces take us on a musical journey through their personal playlists.
They'll be revealing the songs that have inspired and shaped their lives and sharing the tunes that make them laugh, cry, and dance like no one's watching.
So join us for all that and more right here on Shuffle, Skip, Repeat.
We are now joined by the one and only Queen of Essex. It's Cheryl Hole.
Hello, my divas.
I like that title.
Today?
I love it.
That suits. But you've got a few contesters for it, but I'm sure you could rise above the
This
guys.
is the Queen of Essex.
Yeah.
Some are self-proclaimed. I am the Queen of Essex.
Some others are maybe just Queen Consort, shall we say?
I know, right?
Oh, poor Camilla. Poor Camilla.
Listen, Camilla's
Actually, no,
doing
really-
good. Camilla.
Let's go back. No, not poor Camilla.
I think that's twice she's been mentioned in 2 episodes
I
now.
know.
I don't know why.
We're never going to the Royal Variety.
No, we're not.
like-
We're not getting invited to the palace anytime soon. But thank you for joining us today on Shuffle, Skip, Repeat. It's lovely to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So we're going to talk all things music, all things work, and all things drag as well. Which I
Fabulous.
cannot wait for. I think let's start off a little bit more about your music taste. I know there's a fun story about how you came up with the name. Tell us about that to start with.
So obviously I'm called Cheryl Hole, a pun on Cheryl Cole, and some people like to put it in like the nasty connotations, like it's filth. I'm like, get your mind out the gutter, honey. It's just a pun. But I was drunk with one of my best friends, Precious Cargo, and we were listening to Girls Aloud at 4:00 in the morning, a bottle of gin in front of us, and we were just coming up with punny names, and there it just happened. It was like that eureka moment. And like a lot of drag artists have many different names. They go through, oh, maybe I'm this and maybe I'm this. And I was like, this is it from the jump. It's been this since 2015.
The nation's sweetheart, isn't it? It's not an easily forgettable one.
Just robbing hearts left, right and centre.
And staying on the Cheryl Cole theme then, have you got a chance to see her in her latest production in London?
No, because I've been in a ghost show myself.
You've been on tour, of course.
I think it's the most hysterical thing. Both Cheryls making our West End debut
The
in
parallels.
2023. So, like, it was so much fun doing my show. But the minute she got announced, I was like, well, I need to go see her.
So you talk about the tour, actually. That's probably a nice segue into it. How was that? How was it working with other queens?
Do you know what? It was a lengthy tour. I was doing the same show for 6 months and it was so much fun. And it really gave people an opportunity to show my skill set in other avenues. Like, I am a dancing diva, pop princess, lip sync artist. But to get my acting chops on and show people that I can dip my toes into that world was a great, great opportunity. But I am fully ready to put the nun's habit in the cupboard.
You've had enough for now.
Get some glamour back on my body.
And what was it like working with the other queens? Have some of them you worked with before, or was it the first time working with some of them?
So we had a bit of an interchanging cast. So when one person would leave the cast, somebody else would join. So it always felt fresh. So we ended up working with Willem, with Jujubee, with Victoria Scone and Kitty. And we had an amazing drag king, Louis Cypher, that was part of the tour as well. So to have such a small cast, it was so intimate and we just had so much fun on stage. Like, it got to a point where we were so comfortable in the show that we started playing games. So we had like the bevel game. So if somebody was beveling on stage, you'd have to clock it and they'd be like, and I just remember some audience members going, what the hell's going on? But it just kept the show fun for us, you know.
Yeah. And how many dates was it in total? Can you remember? Like, it was a big
So it was 116 shows over 6 months, and I did 114. One because I was sick, and one because I had a prior commitment. So
booked and busy.
I think a pat on the back for me.
100%. Curious, how many wigs did you get through in all those dates?
So the wigs team are incredible, but I only had one wig change. So I had 2 weeks the entire run, and they managed to last the test of time. And trust me, I'm quite a physical performer, so they go through it. And the fact that it lasted the test of time, I was like, thank Jesus, Lord above, our Lord and Saviour. Amen. Lady Gaga.
Yes.
Kylie Minogue.
Diana. Ross. Miss Ross.
We're working away through
Princess!
the whole royal family's been mentioned. Let's talk a little bit more about your music taste, and when you get some time off, and when you're, you get to let your hair down a little bit. What do you like listening to at home in your spare time?
I love pop. I love pop through and through. I love anything from like nostalgic noughties, so like the Cheeky Girls, S Club 7, Steps, all the way through to all the girl groups like the Sugar Babes, Little Mix, Girls Aloud, and it's just those. I've got a memory for every single song. Like, I don't remember my ABCs and 1, 2, 3. It's like my nephew, he's 8 years old, and he went to me, he was like, do you know your 12 times table? I do. And I went,
Shut up, you.
but I'll be able to tell you when Long Hot Summer by Girls Aloud came out,
Right.
July 2005.
Because you have the podcast on girl bands and all of that.
Yes, girl group gossip.
Which girl group does this remind you of?
This is the Saturdays Not Giving Up.
Yes.
So when we had,
Yeah.
you say that, like, and with no word of a lie, when we were having production meetings, etc., that's what we said to them. We were like, we want Saturdays off, like, all the way, and that's what they gave us.
Well, now I know I'm in excellent company. I knew I was in good company. Now we're in excellent company.
I'm glad you got it straight away when you asked the question.
It would have been embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't know. Cheap tat? I don't know what.
Ooh, Amazon Prime. No, trust me, you should see my track room.
Oh god, that's tough. So sticking with girl groups, actually, and here's one that's probably a bit of a difficult question since you're such an avid girl group
Hit me.
groupie. If you had the chance to bring one girl group back, and I think I'm gonna have to take Girls Aloud out of it because you'll just cheat and go with them.
Yeah.
If you had the chance to bring one back, which would you choose today, right now, to bring out a new album?
Oh my god, don't. Right.
So who have we got? We've got the Saturdays. We've technically got Little Mix, but I feel like you're quite a fan of Little Mix as well, so I might take them off the table.
Okay.
So we've got the Saturdays, we've got Spice Girls.
Atomic Kitten.
Yes.
If you had the opportunity, then which girl group would you bring back?
In all honesty,
None of them. They were all rubbish.
none of them. They're rotten. No, I think the Spice Girls have had too many comebacks for it to be a comeback. So I feel like they're out the equation. Everybody's always going for a Spice Girls show. So that's inevitable. That's always going to happen. But,
With Victoria?
well, Vicky B, I think eventually will crack and go, girls, I'm
I think
coming
so
back.
too.
Just stick the vocals down. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Please, Victoria, I do not want to cease and desist. I think it has to be the Saturdays. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody can touch the Saturdays greatest hits mega mix.
On
7
YouTube.
minutes, 22 of pure pop bangers. And I think Frankie was the one that was like, nah, we've done it. But I
Yeah.
saw one of her TikToks the other day doing it with one of these, doing the not giving up
She
choreo.
knows.
She knows.
So there's hope.
She knows.
There's
So
hope.
I think the writing's on the walls. Maybe it could happen.
I love that you mentioned that Mega Mix. Brilliant.
But tell
Yeah.
me, has any other group touched that yet? Like, I don't think any other group. Little Mix did do a very good one, but it was nowhere near.
With the Saturdays, though, I feel like they only got like one #1, though, didn't they, in the UK chart?
Yeah, what about us?
Which, again...
Thank you, Cheryl Hole.
Listen, the ad-libs on that song alone, like, yeah, let me not dirty wine in the seat. But, yeah, they only had one #1, which to me is shocking because...
There's lots of really interesting like chart figures with like some really big artists. That
Yeah.
are like that.
Yeah.
But I think charts don't mean a thing as long as you've got the following and the people behind you rooting for you. So, like, if people come into your shows, it doesn't matter if you've got a repeater badge or not. Like, at the end of the day, it don't mean a thing if you ain't got that
Yeah.
swing. Do you know what I blame?
Go on.
TikTok. Not blame, but people are so smart. They'll create that 30-second soundbite, throw it onto TikTok, get people interested in it, and then drop the song. Boom.
That's
viral
it.
hit.
But they're writing for TikTok now. That's what the songwriters are doing. They're going out of the
Yeah.
way to write so that it does go well on TikTok.
But it's like with artists and new albums, every song is under 3 minutes because they don't want people to click off the song on the streams. And I'm like, I want a 3.5 or longer song because I want to perform it.
You want the mega mix?
Yeah, thank you very much.
You want the mega mix?
But honestly, I think one of the artists that is doing it so well at the moment is Kim Petras.
Yes.
Like the songs that she is creating for this time, for this era, is going to be ingrained in our head purely from the visual aspect of TikTok and just purely just merging the two together of music and socials.
So sticking with music, here's a scenario for you. So you're in the club, you're on a night out, having fun with the gal pals. You're in the bathroom, you've had a little tinkle, you're just about to wash your hands, and you hear a song come on. What song is stopping you from washing your hands and running straight to the dance floor?
Okay, well, that's going to go straight onto Reddit that I didn't wash my hands. So, oh my God, right. Okay, there are so many songs, but right now, I think the song that would get me there. I don't like being put on the spot like this because there's too many songs. Right, give me 3 songs and I'll tell you which one it is.
No. You have to do me one.
Right, no, we're in the words of High School Musical, we're all in this together. Help me out.
You're on your own. You're on your own,
Okay.
sister. Sorry.
I was always, like, my go-to one is always the Saturdays Mega Mix. So if I hear that, I always run, but we've already spoken about that. I think it's going to have to be, I know this is really cringe, but it's the dum 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 dum. You know, at the back of heaven in the camp room. Honestly, the minute I'm in that toilet and I just hear Love Machine starting, I'm like, come on, girls, ladies, you're damn right.
I think that's a good choice. And
Yeah.
as you said, you heard it here first, Cheryl Hole does not wash her hands when she goes to the toilet. Okay.
I've got hand sanitizer in my purse.
Running and squirting at the same time.
Excuse me. Buy a girl a drink first.
Oh, edit all this out. Now, the same question, but the opposite. Having the best time on the dance floor, what song is going to get you off that dance floor quicker than insert pun here?
A ballad. Any ballad. I'm like, get me gone. Right,
Even-
smoking area.
Even a Whitney ballad? No, Celine.
Yeah, like, if It's All Coming Back to Me Now comes on, I'm not going to stand here and belt it. I'm like, if I'm out, I'm vibing.
Okay.
Like, I've got to keep that tempo. And I think that's why when I perform in clubs and bars, my set list is just competing with the energy that people are being fed all night.
Yeah.
Like, you never want to bring the vibes down. You want to keep the vibes going. So, like, for me, as much as I love a ballad in a show, I'm not a ballad queen in the club.
I hear that.
Controversial, I know, but...
She doesn't wash her hands and she hates Celine Dion. Okay.
And Whitney.
You can't say that.
I'm just being cancelled.
Oh, I don't know. There's a few Celine songs though that are they're ballad-esque, but they're also still
Yeah.
they've got a little bit. Like I Drove All Night. That
Yeah.
that could keep me on the dance floor.
Celine is a dark horse.
Yeah.
Are you ready for? No, I agree. Like, I Drove All Night, River Deep, Mountain High. Like, that will keep me on the dance floor. But Because You Loved Me, sorry, I'm getting a volley Red Bull and going to the smoke
I think
area.
that's fair.
And I
That's
don't
fair.
even smoke.
I think that's fair.
That's one of my faves.
I'll have a pretend
It's
vape.
one of my
I'll go,
faves, I cannot lie.
What do you do to kind of separate your work from you day to day? Because obviously it's the same person, but it's two different people, isn't it?
Yeah, so for me, with my drag work world, I always say that me and drag is just me with the volume turned up 20%. Like, it's the same person, just with an IV of Red Bull. So, like, it's you get what you get. It's just when I'm at drag, it's just like, okay, yeah, we're chilled. But, like, I'm very good at going back to Essex and switching off. So, like, if I'm out and about, I'm on it. I'm going. I'm doing everything. But, like, when I'm home, don't try and make plans with me because I'm not coming.
Yeah.
Real tea, I'm such a homebody that, like, when I leave the house, it's like, it's fun, it's enjoyable. Whereas if I was just out partying all the time and like trying to balance a party, because I feel like I get my fix working and partying. Like, I don't really drink. I'm not a big drinker. So like when I'm in the clubs and I'm vibing with my friends, like most of my gigs are with friends and people I know. So it's always a good time. So like I get that fix and then I go home and I watch Real Housewives.
What is your favourite? What's your favourite?
I mean, it has to be Beverly Hills, but Atlanta as well. I need to
honestly.
start Potomac. I really do. But like, I'm working my way through the Housewives.
Beverly Hills all the way.
All
the way.
New York for me was always my favourite.
Sonia.
Unhinged, Sonia,
and
Ramona.
Yeah.
I shouldn't, but I live
Who
for
can do
Ramona.
It's total time.
Who can do the best Ramona eyes?
I feel like you've got that one.
No, it's this dark line
Okay.
and then the wide eyes.
Ramona, Sonia, Countess Luann.
I'll take that.
Your class.
You can only sing like 3 seconds, although she'll probably come for some charges.
You know she will.
I'll just do a spoken word. Chic, c'est la vie.
She
C'est
did-
bon. C'est bon.
She did do a few, didn't she? She did a Christmas one. Because you know when you get into a YouTube hole.
Yeah.
And I think
Feeling Giovanni.
yes. Which
The
was,
girl code.
Yeah.
okay, you know these far too well.
I'm so impressed. I'm like, oh my gosh, wow.
So when I was on holiday, me and my friend Erica, we'd have a secret knock to our rooms. So if it was just us and not housekeeper, because I always put the do not disturb and I don't let anybody into my room because I'm like, if I'm there for 2 weeks, you ain't coming in. Like every couple of days, but like don't come in and move shit around because.
Yeah.
Can we swear?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. So I'm like, don't come in, don't mess with my stuff. Like, everything's got a place. But I do like my bed made every now and then. And fresh towels. But, yeah, I will say, we've got a secret code. And it was, money can't buy your class. So it'd be like, money can't buy your class. And then we'd go, and then we'd skip a bit, and it goes, elegance is learned. And then we make sure we're on the other side and both knock, my friends. And then the door will open. Unhinged, I know, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
It's dedication, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, icon status for Countess Luann. Do we call her Countess? Does she still get that title?
I mean, she dropped the title in season 5, but here we are.
If Sonia's still a Morgan, Luann is still a countess.
Yeah, but true.
And I'm still a hole.
So, just going back a little bit, you saying you're kind of homebody. How do you split wardrobe space? Because technically, and this is just good math, because you are technically 2 people, you should get 2/3. But does it actually work that way, or would he accept that argument?
Well, let's just say I have an entire room for all this nonsense.
Okay, so
dream.
And we shut the door and it never bleeds out. Now, sometimes it bleeds out into the spare room in the office. But yeah, we've got an entire drag room. Shut the door. Nothing comes out. Maybe an occasional suitcase stays in the living room if we're like in, out, shake it about, doing the hokey pokey. But our bedroom is 50-50. Oh, sorry. Our bedroom is 50-50 and the drag room stays the drag room. And it's a hefty room.
I'd love to be able to spend the day in there displaying dress up at the
I
moment.
mean, you'd be occupied. It's like a museum.
What's your favourite outfit?
Oh, right. Okay. So I genuinely think my favourite outfit was my finale outfit from UK versus the World because it was just the most gorgeous gown that I put it on and I just felt like royalty. And like normally my outfits, it's like stage wear, rhinestones, feathers, a little bit of ostrich here and there. But I have to say, putting that one and I was dripping in all the flowers of the UK because our finale eleganza had to be representing our home country. So I was like, it was this Vivienne Westwood inspired gown. And I just was like, I remember feeling so heavy in it because it was like layers and layers and layers of fabric, but I didn't give a fuck because I was just like floating down that runway, throwing it about. So I think that is one of the pieces that I will always have. I am like a very sentimental person, so I've kept everything that I've ever had in like a huge moment like Drag Race or somewhere special, like a really special show that I did that I had something made for. But other than that, I'm like, I am a hoarder, but I try and get rid of things here and there.
Obviously, you've been asked to death about this show, so I won't ask too much about that. But in terms of your own personal growth, because obviously you've done the show twice now, and you've been doing this for a long time, what would you say you've seen in yourself change over the years in your own drag?
Do you know what? I think as artists, you never stop growing. You never stop pushing yourself. And when you become complacent and you stop, what's really going on? Because you want to challenge yourself. And like, I learn so much of others. It's not that I'm taking what they do, because I'm being inspired by what they do and putting my own flair on it. It's just like, even with your makeup, just trying little things here and there, just keeping it fresh and keeping it new. It just keeps it exciting. So often when I'm watching like newer seasons of Drag Race and I see like the runway themes come in, if you asked me when I did season 1, when you asked me when I did UK versus the World, I would have had a different answer to how I would have approached that runway. But I'm constantly keeping up to date with what's new and going back into archives and stuff and seeing like, oh, maybe I could pull from that 1989 runway. Like it's stuff like that. You've got to keep yourself like fresh and exciting. So like, I like a challenge. I like to do different things. So I've seen a lot of growth in myself. And I think especially doing this theatre tour, I've really shown to myself that I can do things like a full-length 2-hour show, singing, choreography, physical movement, set changes, costume changes. I do a costume change and that's showing 20 seconds.
That's
and I'm
impressive.
literally like, oh, I can't believe I did that.
Just adding it to your CV. Like,
Hey, but that's what you do as artists. You just need to constantly be topping up that CV in your head and be like, well, I've done that. Like, on to the next stuff. Like, I never thought when I started doing Drag Race, I would have done podcasts, toured the world, and done this. And I'm not tooting my own horn, but it's just like...
Toot away.
Toot.
Toot, toot, beep, beep, at the car wash. But you have to pause and you have to go, wow, you really did that. Because if you're just caught up in the clouds...
What would you say is your biggest challenge with what you do? Because obviously every job comes with its pitfalls, hard days. What would you say is some of the hardest things for you when it comes to drag?
In all honesty, my hardest thing is trying to not let people's negativity affect me, because we live in a world where you are so accessible on social media. And unfortunately, you can't just live as an artist and not be accessible on social media. You have to be keeping your work out there and current, because there's so many people that can't make it to your shows, live in different countries. So you have to keep your content there for them to enjoy. So like through podcasts, through music videos, through music, through just like TikToks and reels of like you just getting ready. But you can't help but scroll through your notifications and suddenly you've got somebody calling you a fat bastard. I'm like, yes, I have been at Nando's a lot this week.
And that's my prerogative. Yeah.
But like, that is my biggest downfall, is letting a few comments cloud the hundreds of positivities. But you have to take constructive criticism. But when people are being nasty, give them a mute. Don't give them a block, because that gives them the satisfaction of knowing what they've done. Whereas if they've muted, they go and go and go, but you can't see them.
You're
That's
none the
a
wiser.
tip and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, because I learned this the hard way, because I remember episode 2, it didn't come across the greatest for me, because I was just like living my best life and people called me out for being fake when I was just being me. Like, I was just pumped with Red Bull from 8 in the morning till 10 at night. So of course I'm going to be like, woo! Yeah. But like, people will believe anything they're shown on TV. So people thought I was this obnoxious, annoying person, when in actual fact, I'm very like loving and caring and actually quite calm under the surface. So to have people just on Twitter going at me, I was like, I've got to go, bye. Yeah. And like, I've seen gradually with each season of Drag Race, it's getting so out of control that on season 15, queens were having their accounts like blocked and taken down because 14-year-olds have nothing better to go in a group chat with their friends who watch Drag Race and go, let's all report this person. I'm like, guys, come on. There's like, we're here to entertain. We're here to escape from the shit world that we're living in. We've got people trying to stop drag shows and censor trans people, and you want to block a queen because she said a shady comment about your favorite queen, get a grip. Like, we've got bigger fights to fight, and we can all
100%.
do that.
And on that topic, actually, how does that feel being a drag artist, waking up to some of those headlines in the morning? Because obviously for a lot of us, we read these things and we're equally as disgusted in some of the things that are said. But for someone that lives it day to day,
Yeah.
what's that actually like?
Do you know what? It's so disheartening because you think you're getting to a place in the world where we're becoming more inclusive and we're being more accepted as a community, and then suddenly you've got activists that are trying to stop transgender people going to the toilet in public, and you go, what? And then you've got states in America banning drag shows. I'm like, we're doing nothing wrong. Every drag artist is different. I will hold our hands up and say, we're all different. So what I do, yes, I would say it's more PC and acceptable for anybody, so kids can come to my shows. And if I know it's an older audience, yes, I'll have a laugh with the audience and call people bastards and whatnot. But there are some drag artists, for what they do, they love to do burlesque, they love to show off their body, and that's their art and their craft. So it's a parent's prerogative to bring a child to a drag show. They know what they're getting themselves in for. And shows like Drag Race, I bet nobody has watched an episode of Drag Race if they're trying to censor it, and they will know that we're doing no harm.
Laughable.
But it's the same people that would have happily watched Dame Edna and Lily Savage at the Royal Variety Show or on Saturday Night Blankety Blank. But now, oh, if the Vivian's on the chase, oh, it's the end of the world. I'm like, Martin 53 from Loughborough, you need to get a hobby, mate. Get off Twitter.
Together. Yeah.
I think more and more people need to speak up because so many huge celebrities have included us in their projects, whether it's they've had trans, gay, straight, bi, transgender life, in the words of Lady Gaga, in their music videos and their movies and their projects. Why are they not speaking up when all this is going on? Why are they not using their platforms and say, hey, I actually agree? And I think I've seen people like Lizzo really using their platform and talked about drag shows and stuff like that. And it's made me feel like reassured that there are people that have really got our back. But more people need to speak up because we can only do so much.
Absolutely.
And we only have so much reach.
I think that's why Pride is such like a big thing.
Yeah.
Like it's huge, like globally. But I agree. I feel like people need to speak up a lot more. There are artists that you can tell do Pride genuinely because they stand for it, they're there for the cause they want to support, but then there are a lot of artists who again are doing it
Take the check.
For the check, and I feel like these days people are getting a lot smarter. It's very obvious to tell who's there for you and who's not, but I completely agree, people need to speak up. If you're an ally, be an ally, say you're an ally. Don't use it for marketing, don't use it for clicks, likes, whatever. Yeah.
Anyway, coming back to something full circle, I want to talk about career highlights, and I want to ask you, because obviously we've got a few to choose from, what would you say has been your top moment to date? Because I'm sure there's plenty more around the corner. But if you had to pick one, what's the thing you've most enjoyed doing?
Do you know what? In all honesty, I think my favourite show that I've ever done was when we did the Troxy back in 2019. We had 2,700 people in there, and I just remember walking out. But have you been to the Troxy?
Yeah.
So you know the balcony at the top, and they have all the seats and the like the main seats at the front, and then it's like the tiers up. I remember walking out to the Troxy and just looking up and seeing my mum right there, and I just was like, oh my God, like I looked out to the sea of people and I saw my little mum, Jerry, sitting there, and she was like this, and then she got an iPhone out and she went like this to zoom in, and I was like, oh my God, what is actually happening? But I think that was a true career highlight for me.
So another scenario for you, another situation.
I have no idea what he's going to say.
scared.
I'm like, you're looking at me, I don't know.
not bad.
I don't know.
So you've just been told you've got a PA, public appearance, for those not in the game, and you've been told it's with one other queen. Which queen would you hate it to be?
Now, I would love to say, and I know a lot of people would know who it is.
Oh, she shows the skip again.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not here for the drama and the kaflama, but I haven't got time for negativity or rudeness. So, like, cool, continue your life being like that, but I'm going to crack on being mine.
Show up, take the bag, smile, and leave. That's what I
That's
do.
it.
Yeah. So you've What was she actually trying to say
I don't know.
to this day?
It's like a
They made up a
spasm.
story and they said, "Oh, it's just a funny thing we say when we don't know what to say." And I was like,
Right. So you what was in that drink? So you've used skip, which means you need to forfeit.
I'm gonna skip.
So if we pick up the vinyl, show the camera.
Is this skip?
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
indeed. So what what forfeit you've got?
Okay, I have got.
Oh, impression.
Oh, an impression.
Oh!
You were ready.
I'm ready.
Whenever you're ready.
Listen.
I'm ready.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm ready. An impression. Okay. Oh God! Don't make me do an impression of a drag queen because they're all rotten and horrible. Look, on season 1, we all got obsessed with talking like Cilla Black because it was what the Vivian was going to do for Snatch Game, but then Rue was like, "You have to do Donald Trump." So I was like, we just remembered all like the Cillarisms. Have you ever seen the video of her talking about the OXO cube?
No.
So she did an interview and she was talking about when she was raised Catholic, she accidentally took an OXO cube and rubbed it on an orange because there was nothing in the pantry but oranges and OXO cubes. And she ate it and she realised it was a beef OXO cube and it was a Friday. And she had to go to she had to go to confessions. And all she had to say was 10 Hail Marys or something. But no. Do you remember on Blind Date?
Yeah.
Of course.
She's a journalist, ladies and gentlemen, not a blind dater. Oh, Nicola, how could you? She works for Cosmopolitan magazine.
That's brilliant. That was really
love
good. That's
it.
impressive. That's
Surprise,
impressive.
surprise.
You are talented.
I try.
You are.
Look, I'm the mediocre superstar, but you set the standards of mediocrity and you only excel them.
Queen of Essex.
Words to live by.
Queen of Essex.
I think that's perfect to leave it there.
Yeah.
We couldn't ask for anything better. Thank you so much for joining us in Shuffle, Skip, Repeat.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm very drunk.
We've done our jobs.
Mission successful.
Get the 49 bus.